Hi and welcome to my first video series here on Just Thinking. And this is not going to be too philosophical or something, it's more practical, on a practical side because it's about mathematics. And I'm trying to make it so that students around high school, which would be up to Abitur in the German system. So, if you're ready for university like this level, but also young people like 12, 13 will over time have some videos that are useful for them. So the name that I chose is Punkt vor Strich, which is a German phrase and literally it means point before line. And this comes from the dot before line, maybe is a bit better. This is like the dot of multiplication, or the two dots for the division, comes before. When you calculate, you have to do that first, before you do the plus and minus, which is one or two lines. So it's a bit of a German phrase, don't worry too much about it. And this whole series is not gonna focus too much on how exactly to calculate. So it's not okay, put the 5 here, divided by 2, exponent here, blah blah blah. The practical side, I think there is a lot of stuff in school, in books, on the internet that is already telling you how to do that, teaching you how to specifically solve a problem, which is nice. Like, this is great. We need that, of course. But what was always missing, to me at least, in school and also in the internet and the books, of course, which is kind of part of school, and I would say at home, like in society as a whole, it's completely not existent, which is super sad and unnecessary from my point of view. So what I want to do is focus a bit more on explaining what the hell are you actually doing here? Like, what is this all about? What could you use it for? Is it part of everyday life? And I think it is. I mean, maybe you don't have to go to the bakery, or you're not going to go to the bakery and then just think, oh, all this math stuff that I learned, now I can use it all. No, maybe not. But I don't think that has to be the point. You will find, if you really go into it and understand what is the concept behind it, you will find a lot of stuff in the world that is super connected, or just almost equivalent to what you learn in math. That's the reason why it wasn't invented in the first place, because people were confronted with concepts or things to calculate again and again and again, so they invented math. And that's the reason. They didn't put, okay, let's do some crazy stuff no one needs. Makes no sense. So, okay, to show you how I want to structure the whole thing, I want to divide it up into 3 bigger parts. The first part, it's kind of cool. It's triple B, but it was just too long, to be honest. That's the abbreviation. It's basic building blocks. So what might that be? That could be functions. Functions. F of x, like, what is it actually? I have a lot of I had a lot of students over many years, even in like 16, 17, 18 years old, like in the last few years of high school, and they basically didn't even get what it is. Like, why, what is happening here? What is the idea behind it? And this is insane to me. First of all, it is incredibly simple, and it is very much part of everyday life, even for children. I mean, they don't consciously say, oh, I'm going to use a function now in my life. Of course not. But what they do in their head, even unconsciously or consciously, whatever, it is the process that is represented by a function in math. So you use math to describe or to calculate, to say what's going to happen in the future. It's made to describe the world. And so functions is one of the very main concepts to describe the world, which most people don't get. And it's crazy. It's really, you will understand for sure. If you just are not super close and I hate it, math is evil. Yeah, okay. Let's see what we can do. Some other things. I don't want to go into detail too much, but that could be a graph. The graph of a function. Coordinate system, and you have the line and everything, and you can read and make points and yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? And that could be another thing. Brackets, like how do you calculate stuff that is in brackets, or then there's an exponent over the bracket and people get mad. No reason for that. The basic idea of what a bracket means, why you put it in there, again, is something that actually you already use as a kid, long before you use it in school. It's a very basic concept. There's no secret whatsoever behind it. So I could do some more. Just gonna leave it here. It's just trying to tell you what my idea is. So the first topic that I wanna talk about here is analysis. In German, the students would learn it as Kurvendiskussion, or discussion of curves, which, if you say it like this, sounds a bit weird. It's just German term. So it's about derivatives and minima and maxima, like the high point and low point of a curve, calculating that stuff. And again, this is extremely connected to the world, to the real life, that you go outside, you see processes or think about something, and I guarantee you, if you need it or not, I'm not saying that you need it to do anything if you're just walking around, but you can find it in the world. You can understand what are you doing in school if you just connect it to something that you already know in the world very, very intimately. And maybe, I don't know, it's just nice to better understand what is happening. And I'm guaranteeing you, again, I know I'm saying it all the time, but it's very connected to real life. Not necessary for it, but connected. Another thing could be vectors. Maybe I should say I'm a physicist, so these two topics are very closely connected to my work and my thinking in physics, and without those two there is basically no physics, ever, almost. But maybe some basic stuff, but no modern physics at all would be thinkable without those two concepts. And the third one, the meta part, well, what I mean by this, and this is maybe the most complicated for me in the English version, is not talking about math in the sense of calculating stuff or a certain topic like here, but talking about how, for example, societies, parents, teachers talk about it, how people, the perspective of people on mathematics, how do students feel about it, what are typical expectations, and I think there, at least in Germany, a lot is going wrong, almost everything. I really despise the system in that point, to be honest. Well, it's a bit sad, but it's true. And it's very hard for me to tell how people in France, the UK, the US, I don't know, Italy, Russia, or India, I have no clue, how people, what the experience there is, and how society, what the perspective of society on mathematics is. I don't know. So this is going to be pretty hard for me. I'm not even sure if I will touch it in the English version, because again, I'm going to speak on about the German perspective, my experience in the German system, which could be totally different in another system. Probably is. So that would be kind of useless, especially if people from different countries watch it. Then some will say, oh, I know what you mean. Some will say, what are you talking about? So it's going to be a bit more complicated. But for parents, in the German version, the first point was parents, in the sense of how do parents act when it's about math, when they talk to their kids. And I think it's often very terrible and destructive. So let's see if I'm going to do that in English or not. All right, so to not make the video too long, this is my overview, my schedule in a sense, and I'm going to start with the basic building blocks, and then go on to the main topics. Like in crafting, for example, you would first, and yeah, maybe I should say that. I think a lot of students don't even really know, like, what is this? It's a nail. Yeah, we had that in 7th grade. I don't know what a nail is. I don't know what a nail is. What do you want from me? Or, no, I used to need to use a hammer. Where do I grab it? And it's like, wait. You don't understand the very basic concepts or yeah, building blocks of the whole thing. So I'm gonna start with those first, and then the next step would be, okay, now we know what the heck we're having here, what we're using, what we're doing here. Now we can, for example, build a cupboard or something. I mean, yeah, I don't know how difficult it is actually, to be honest. I never did it. But it's not just one tool. You need multiple tools. You need some ideas, techniques. Maybe you have to do it, practice it a few times until you're good at it. But you can understand it kind of easily if you know all those. And so I'm at first gonna do the basic building blocks, so that I can then tackle the bigger concepts. That is my idea. So yeah, I hope you will join this journey through from a different perspective on math, hopefully. And yeah, see you till then. Bye.